Beautiful. And there we are.
Woot woot!
Because it really hit me hard with that BetterHelp ad.
Yeah!
Bothered me so much I disliked the stream.
Lucky bet, ooh woo! Jason M, hey everyone. Chris House, howdy. Average Irish dude, hello.
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 I put that in live chat so I can see all the swears.
Yeah! Jesse Sumners, what's up guys? Just recently found the channel. Me too.
Yeah. I don't like it very much.
No,
I'm gonna be honest with you. Sure thought DM got COVID. Shit sucks.
No!
Just don't have COVID anymore.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now. That's what my doctor said to do. My doctor's also a dentist.
Yeah!
James Cameron Clark, I have an ice cream. Yeah, do that instead.
Ooh.
No COVID and have ice cream.
Oh, I want ice cream. Here, let's just turn off the stream right now, and I'll go to the grocery store and get some ice cream.
I actually had ice cream today.
Ah!
Yep. Haha.
I got nothing sweet.
The camera is looking really in focus.
Mm-hmm.
Magic Take 9000. Finally got Warhammer Plus just for the Chaos Termi. Am now 5 episodes into Interrogator. Nice.
Yeah, Interrogator's like a good show.
Yeah, it's like the one thing that they've done that's really good. No, there is
and a few episodes of Hammer Bolter.
Yes.
God, remember how good that the Age of Sigmar episode was?
Yeah, one of them was
so good.
Yeah,
and the other one was just utterly forgettable.
Well, it's almost like if you do something interesting, it's awesome.
Yeah.
If you could believe it.
You know what, though? A lot of people are going to hate the good episode and like the serious episode.
Yeah. Because they're boring people. I'll say it. I'm not afraid. I don't care.
You're not afraid of big fan base?
Mm-mm. Not at all.
King Kanona's EOB should stream a New Vegas ice cream party tomorrow if you're free. Probably won't be. Probably won't be. New Vegas will be a sometimes food, like Cookie Monster says.
Right. Although cookies are not sometimes foods. They're all the time foods.
That's true. Yeah. If you could materialize any cookie into existence right now, what cookie?
I just want a classic chocolate chip from the bag. That's what I want.
Yeah. Hard to go wrong.
Yeah, I haven't had one of those in years, probably, and I could go for one.
Lucky Bat told me that he saw a s'mores Oreo, and I want it. But at this point, I'm starting to think that that's fake. Big old lie.
Oh,
it probably won't be good because no Oreos, no other Oreo flavors are good.
I feel like I've seen them.
I've never seen them. I would have bought them.
I feel like I may have had them. I don't think they're new.
I've never seen them in my life.
Yeah, I have to take a look. See. Yeah, I honestly, this is I don't know. Might be crazy for me to say this. If I never had an Oreo again in my life, that's okay. I know. I think I'm done. I'm tired.
That's fine. Oreos aren't that amazing.
I'd rather have a real cookie.
Yeah.
I like them. I would enjoy them. But give me a chocolate chip cookie, semi-sweet chocolate chips.
Oreo dipped in chocolate. That's pretty legit.
All right.
That's pretty legit.
Back. And then deep fry it.
Oh. Free all GT. Do you guys like the Blade Angels one? I thought that was pretty good. Angels of Death. I really liked Angels of Death. I think it's the best Space Marine thing that's out there.
I would agree. It is the best Space Marine thing out there. It's okay. It's not. It's good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It is. It is okay.
You know what's weirdly? I don't know. I don't like it. Whatever the Tau show was.
Yeah.
That was bad.
It was frustrating that it's clearly not what it was meant to be. It just ends. Yeah. And it's not. There's not like a story. Like you expect there to be a whole thing when you see the main character go up and get the beads, and they make like a big deal of it. But then it doesn't really matter. It could have been any Tau.
Yeah.
Which is too bad because I feel like the Tau are really cool and they don't ever get any attention whatsoever. And so even when they get attention, it's like it doesn't really count.
Right.
And the show looked pretty good. Like that space battle in the first act, which is like as good as the show gets.
Yep. But they just keep going places and doing things. It's just nothing matters, and who cares?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of setup. They set up a lot of stuff, and then there's just nothing. I just don't know. I don't know what the point is.
Cheese person. Hello all. I'm attending my first 40k tournament today. Any tips? Microwave your dice so that they always roll 6.
Win.
Cheat really hard.
Always cheat.
Jason, I like the Age of Sigmar episode, and I don't even like Age of Sigmar. Oh my gosh, I want to make that guy. I wish I could remember his name.
Yeah.
He's probably a Stormcast, but I hope they make more episodes about him that prove that he's just a big charlatan.
Yeah. It was a really fun episode.
I love that the other Stormcast don't believe him and evacuate the city.
Mm-hmm. And if anybody wants to really know what we're talking about, you should join our Patreon.
Yeah.
And let's just say you can watch that episode along with us.
Yeesh.
On our Patreon, for $1 cheaper than Warhammer Plus. I would never say such a thing like that, but yeah. Just so you know. Auditor, I agree, Nick. It's just a fucking shitty cookie. Fuck Oreos, gang, rise up. I take it back. They are all right. They are all right. But yeah, I want a real cookie.
Everyone, speaking of segues, a long time ago, Jay showed off a mini he painted of an insect scientist with an iPad. Does anybody remember where that came from? I don't even remember where it came from. I know it came from Pashspiele's website. I don't know what maker created it, but if you go to Pashspiele, it's probably there.
Yep. Make sure you translate the website to English.
Yeah. Master 9000.
I'm gonna read this first. East Coast Gaming. EOB has STLs too, unlike Warhammer Plus. See? You know what? That would not be a bad idea for them to do. Just not even just some garbage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if they put out some crates or just cute little things here and there.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't even do it every month. Or maybe if you subscribe to them for 6 months, you get something. But yeah, we're better than them.
Master 9000. I need a 40k X-Files show where 2 Inquisitors repressing the truth. Hashtag the truth is out there. Hashtag still trust no one. That's a tiny bit Interrogator. Interrogator is two guys trying to solve a mystery. It's really good. God, the episode where you find out what's going on the planet is like spooky.
Yep. It's a good show.
It is.
It's honestly surprisingly good.
Yeah.
I think it also looks really good. They just did a good job.
Average Irish dude. I don't want to come to these streams much because it's late in Ireland when these happen, so I just want to say that your videos are great and helpful with learning about painting models. Nice!
Awesome.
That's what we try to do. Hashtag 9000. You think they'll ever add more Xenos allies to the Tau? I guess not. I don't know. I feel like if they haven't yet, it's not looking great.
Yeah.
Chris, tell me about the specific steps other people have taken to microwave their dice to always roll sixes so I know what to watch for. I don't think it actually works.
I don't think so either.
I think it's just like a silly old rumor. I mean, Sean uses my dice and he always rolls sixes. And then I use my dice and I always roll ones.
Yeah. He's got the luck of the Sean.
The luck of the Sean.
Yeah. So that certainly helps.
Oh, Shawnee boy, the dice are rolling sixes.
Exactly.
PG95, I hope tonight will cure my EOB deficiency. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we actually, we got a doozy. We got a thing to talk about today on stream.
Captain
A
Blue.
little update.
Captain Blue, when do you think Games Workshop will burn down your channel and execute your families? I'm betting it happens in 100k more subs. Yeah, probably 200,000 is when I'd bet.
Yeah.
Which actually, we were already at 110.
This is true. Things are really going up.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Paul Greer, gonna give Warhammer Plus one more year. Yeah, it's like, it is so fine.
Yeah.
It barely comes with anything, but it's like, it's probably worth... I mean, I haven't checked what deals are offering this year. It was 100% worth, like, the $16 it cost last year because of all of the promotions they offered. I haven't checked what they're doing this year. I heard that there was some sort of a dealio they were doing. I haven't looked into it, though. My boy, super new to the hobby. I love your videos. You have a great energy and get me excited to paint. Just finished gluing together my first ever minis. Sweet! What minis? Shadowbox, advice request, removing a transfer decal after I put a layer of hard coat and a layer of Lamian meating on it. Paint over it. You're not getting that sucker off. You're just gonna have to paint over it, and then paint over it again. Like, paint over it with like your base coat, and then paint over it with whatever you want on top. Bleentron is the most Games Workshop thing they would do is to have STLs of skulls of various kinds. Yeah, if I was in charge of Games Workshop, what I would do is I would put out some free STLs of like barrels.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all I would ever do. Just to be like, hey, look, guys, we're paying attention. Don't worry. But I don't know. I just don't think any company is going to make a million selling STLs because you can't. You really can't. Number one, you're cutting your audience so slim. The people who own 3D printers and want to pay money for STLs, It's not everybody. It's a very small number of people.
But everyone that I know owns a 3D printer. I don't have any friends.
Mm-hmm. Like, 3D printers are great, but like if you live in a dorm or you have, small children or pets that you don't want to poison, like...
What if you do, though?
Then that might be a good way to poison them.
I don't know. I let my babies play in the resin all day long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
One of them does have a third eye, but it's okay. And the other one can't breathe, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I just don't think any company is going to rise to dominance selling STLs. It's just not really the way. And I don't know if everybody should 3D print. Giant pain in the ass. And you can also just buy stuff.
The whole emu. I tried 3D printing. Not my thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sucks.
Another really interesting point I heard brought up about 3D printing is that it like the best thing that the war gaming scene has got is friendly local game stores, where literally they set themselves up for a life of struggle and failure, so that like randos around the community can have a place to play. Yeah. And all of a sudden, if they can't even sell models, good luck.
Right.
Rump, I'm real glad you did the Victoria miniatures thing. Their Death Quarter of Krieg models look fantastic. Are you talking about Victoria Miniatures? The company started by Victoria Lamb, who is a Slayer Sword winning, 13-time Golden Demon winning badass, who has a miniatures company with hand-sculpted models made here in the USA, with tons and tons of super cool Imperial Guard count as miniatures.
Right.
And they have just created their first Kickstarter for a whole bunch of halfling snipers that are perfect for your D&D, fantasy, or science fiction armies. Is that what you're talking about?
Whoa. That seems pretty insane.
That does.
Wow. I'm just looking and holy shit, I found this random link that goes to this Kickstarter. That's wild.
Yeah.
Wow. Everybody should click on that link from a baby. That's my baby who plays in the 3D printing resin. That's pretty insane. The models are really cool.
They are good. And you get a lot. You get a lot for your money. I thought it was going to be a lot more expensive. Quintadavantage. Do you think you'll make airbrushes or like maybe some brushes? We might sell some brushes at some point.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that work.
Yeah.
Solo Uno. Wait, are 3D printers poisonous? I have a little girl and a cat. It kind of depends on which 3D printer you have. The resin ones, for sure. You don't want them near you. Yeah, I would be really careful with them. We've heard a story of some guy who did like commission 3D printing with like normal like prosumer printers that everyone has, and he thought he was having a stroke, but it was actually the fumes from the 3D printing resin in his lungs. And he was wearing a mask, but he wasn't wearing the right kind, like a respirator with like a P100 filter on it. So it's not good. So you want to just be careful with that. With the filament printers, they can smell, but I probably wouldn't want them near me or my kids either. But it's not as big of a deal, because I don't think so, and I'm not a scientist or know anything.
Yeah, I mean, resin at all stages is pretty poisonous.
Yep. Yeah, I would say if you're gonna do the resin printing in a very tight space, make sure you have some sort of ventilation going on.
Ezra Bustos. Hey Jay, as a Necron player and Master Baser, I am a Master Baser. I Master Base every day. Any advice on basing my Doom sides? I hate the flying stands. That's hard. It does take a lot of work to do something instead of the flying stands.
To master base?
Yeah, to do some master basing. I've done poles that I paint black to be the flying stands. I've cut other pieces of clear acrylic to be the flight stands. You really have to use a lot of imagination if you're going to not use the Games Workshop thing. Although I have seen that they've actually changed their thing in recent years. And so if you buy one today, it comes with a different flying stand. It doesn't come with the big X flying stands. It comes with a different flying stand, which looks marginally better.
Monitor, Nick, I'm holding you liable for my health from here on out, so... Oh no! Gee Whiz's Workshop, I guess I won't be putting my 3D printer in my hobby room since my guinea pigs are in there with me. They'll take it, they'll be able to handle it.
I had a guinea pig. I had a guinea pig called Patches. It was probably the lamest pet I ever had.
What about fish?
I kind of like. We had a it wasn't a saltwater fish tank, but we had like the freshwater tropical fish, and it was actually kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, I liked him. He was a great guinea pig, and he was fun, and we played with him and stuff. But we would just pick him up and then put him in the backyard, and he would walk about a foot and eat the grass, and then we would pick him up and put him back inside.
Yep.
And that was every day.
Yep. Yeah, I would get a real pet.
I did have a chinchilla for a while, and that was so much better than a guinea pig. Chinchillas are wickedly smart, like weirdly smart. Me and my dad built a cage for him, and he figured out how to open it. No. Like this tiny little chinchilla figured out how to open the cage because we used Velcro to keep the door shut, and so he figured out that if he held onto the cage with his tiny little chinchilla hands and he put his forehead on the cage bars, he could pull hard enough to push the door open.
Pretty wild.
Like, it was kind of like having a tiny dog.
But only one of your dogs.
Yeah.
The other one can't. Would never be able to figure that out.
Solo Uno, for tournament purposes, can I paint an army however I want? Yes and no. I mean, do you really think you're going to play in a tournament? And then there's different levels of tournaments. Like, are we talking about a tournament at Warhammer World in Nottingham? Are we talking about a tournament at a Warhammer store? Are we talking about a tournament at a friendly local game store? Are we talking about a tournament between you and your buddies? It all sort of depends. I think you do whatever you want, always. But if you're playing at a Warhammer store, you might get like, well, if you want to use Salamander's rules, you have to paint them Salamander's colors. But it doesn't really matter. And are you really gonna enter tournaments? Also, like, you know, let's say the meta right now is Raven Guard. Raven Guard are the best thing ever. But usually there's plenty good enough rules for everything. So maybe if you paint your models white, you just play them as white scars and you do your best. In a strict tournament setting that doesn't allow you to play as the Raven Guard. You just play them as whatever they can pass as. Jason M., do you think he'll pass Ninjon? Oh, yeah. Get out of here, John!
Yeah. He only has 30-something more subscribers than us. 30,000 something more subscribers. Yuza Garcia, wish me luck this Sunday. I have a Kill Team League match. My Tau Pathfinders versus Guardsmen.
I gotta be honest, Jay. Doesn't surprise me that he had a chinchilla. You seem like the type of person who had a few. I only ever had one chinchilla, but it was actually a pretty solid pet. It was better than the guinea pig. The reason we got a guinea pig is because we would babysit a friend of ours guinea pig when they would go on vacation. And I think my dad found chinchillas because I think somebody he worked with had chinchillas, and they were like, they're pretty good, pretty cool.
Oh, interesting.
Also, somebody he worked with gave my dad a bootleg Spider-Man DVDs.
Hell
so
yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Same guy too.
Probably.
Dickories, how much overlap between you and Ninjon's subscribers do you think there is? I think probably quite a bit because you can actually see in your channel analytics what other channels your audience watches. It doesn't tell you percentages, obviously, but like Squid Mars in there, Major Kill, Tabletop Time, Warhammer. Could you imagine people that like us also like to watch Warhammer? Ninjon's on the list. There's tons of people I don't know, and then there's like Midwinter Minis, Tabletop Minions. Yeah, there's a bunch. Tip top tip top. Stop like grape like.
Stop like bap bap. So I'm gonna do that, idiot. Everybody do what you want. Everybody do what you like. No, stop that, crazy man. There are rules to these things. You can't just let people have fun. No. What if they have fun wrong? Quintandavantja. I had a Tau Breacher squad, and on one I accidentally put on the wrong base. Would that be a big deal? Nope. Probably no one even noticed.
I would notice. I'd make it a big deal. I'd yell at you. Nah, you'd be
and
fine.
Then you know what? If somebody was like, "Hey, is that on a 32mm base?" You could just be like, "I guess it is," and that's the end of it.
Yeah. And you just stare, and then if they keep staring back, you say, "Fight me."
John Wigger. I got an inline fan to suck the fumes out the window. It was the only way I could use my resin printer in my office. Yeah, you gotta be careful about stuff like that.
Garcia, I have a tortoise. They're pretty pog. They just sit around and do their own thing.
Poggers! I remember I used to visit a pet store when I was little, and they had a free-range tortoise that would just walk around, and he was big.
Did you ride him?
No. He was cool, though.
Okay.
There was a different pet store that had a macaw, and macaws, that's like a type of parrot, are unbelievably loud. Like ear damage loud. You just walk up to him, and he looks at you, and then he just screams.
I love it. BJ95, Nick, say something mean to me. You're a goose! There you go.
Colin Steger, are you planning on getting a Contemptor Dread for your Templars? And also, if you do, it may be one of the easier things to magnetize, mainly because of the way the arms are set up. Yeah, Dreadnoughts are usually pretty easy to magnetize. I'll probably get I will probably get a Contemptor. I'll definitely get a Daradeo or two. I really like the Daradeos. And I might get a Contemptor. I have to look into how much Contemptors are, because I feel like a close combat Contemptor would be perfect for the Black Templars. Beantron, what's a good color for an industrial robot with a gun miniature that isn't gray or yellow? Kind of stuck for ideas. Industrial robot with a gun. Maybe not teal. Like green gray. Green gray could be good. Or khaki. Khaki would also be good. And what's great about green gray and khaki is you can have a bunch of metal parts showing through, and they're going to stand out really nicely against those kind of desaturated colors.
But have you considered orange?
Ooh.
I don't see enough orange.
Daniel Bear, one of my 60 Necron words is on a slightly smaller base. No one has said anything.
Rump, I knew a girl who had parrots without fail every 10 seconds, 24 hours a day. It'd be screaming. I don't know how people live with birds.
I had parakeets, and they're pretty good. They can scream, but they're not nearly as loud.
Yeah. I think my mom had a parrot as a kid, like growing up, and yeah, they're a little much.
Mm-hmm.
They also, I think my grandma, this was like before I was born. My grandma had a iguana, and it was choking on lettuce, and my dad saved its life. Yeah, it's kind of a fun little thing.
I remember my first pet, my grandma got me a goldfish, and my parents were pissed because they didn't, like, my grandma just brought it over. Like, there was no, like, forethought. But the next morning it was dead.
Mm-hmm.
So my parents were like, "Aw." And so they took me to the pet store, and I picked out another goldfish for a nickel or whatever goldfish go for. And then the next morning it was also dead.
That's amazing. Yep. And then you got a dog, and you don't want to know what happened the next morning.
Oh my god. Took a lot of hydrogen peroxide. Let's just leave it at that.
Yep. Yeah, my first real pet was a cat, like a real one, you know? Like real pets. There are other pets, and then there are real pets, and real pets are cats and dogs.
Mm-hmm. I had a Tamagotchi.
Did you really?
That was my first. No, but my sister lent me one of hers to play with because she had a bunch.
Nice of her. Wow.
What's dumb about Tamagotchi though is that the stuff you can buy for your Tamagotchi, like in the Tamagotchi game, is really expensive. Why? Who's making money off of that? Like when you play like Webkins, it makes sense that everything's expensive because you're supposed to keep buying more and more Webkins to make money. But like the Tamagotchi, you're done. You buy the Tamagotchi, you might as well make the game playable.
Maybe they're just trying to make it hard so you keep wanting to play it?
Maybe. I like that your Tamagotchi can just drop dead. That's fun.
It's pretty fun. Chris, Nick already knows this, but my mom has a couple of parakeets. Impossible to talk to her on the phone because they won't shut up.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Yeah, I've also had the same problem talking to your mom. It's hard.
What's great is parakeets, they'll like chirp. They'll have the cutest little chirp, but then sometimes they'll just wah, 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 all the time, always.
Yep. Yeah. It's weird that you don't have any parakeets now. Do you think that'd be a problem for filming?
Yeah, it might be a problem with filming. Oh, who was I watching? I think I was watching the Adam Savage's podcast, and one of his hosts has birds, and you can hear them in the podcast sometimes.
And is it like a cute thing or it's annoying?
It's kind of annoying. Like, you sort of, you don't notice it. You just hear, like, screams. But then all of a sudden you start to realize, like, if there's, like a boring spot, you're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Are there, like, birds? Oh, no. It's not Adam Savage's podcast. It's, Linus Tech Tips podcast.
Oh.
The guy who's not Linus has birds. Has parakeets.
How dare he?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're probably back in studio, because that was kind of during, like, the height of COVID. They were doing remote episodes.
Daniel Bear, you guys ever have sea monkeys?
Yes. I didn't have sea monkeys. I had trilobites.
Ah.
You know what, though? My sister had, like, literally recently had sea monkeys.
Really?
And she went to go visit my grandparents, and so she left me her sea monkeys, and I took care of them. I gave them their, like, spoonful of whatever a week.
That's hilarious. They're fun.
Yeah.
Flipping to 88. I feed them to my fish.
Jeremy Grissom. I put gene stealers on 32mm bases. Will Games Workshop police come take me away? Yes, they will.
Yes.
I have my gene stealers on 32mm bases, and I have to dodge the GW police every day.
Yeah. It's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Shara thought DM, Nick, do you do only moms or are stepmoms in the picture too? I'll do any kind of mom.
Tiger Mom?
Yeah, I love them. Daniel Bear, will you do your mom, Nick? No, thank you. That's the one mom. Crash TV, Nick, would you do both of Kim Kardashian's moms? You know, it'd be a good story. Sometimes you gotta do stuff for a story.
Mm-hmm.
Even if maybe you wouldn't usually. Brett Parsons, mom flex. Hell yeah. Not everybody has moms.
Daniel Bear, we have wild parakeets and budgerigars here in Australia. Are they not the same thing? Parakeets and budgerigars? They just scream all day. Yep. Yes, they do.
I also scream all day. You can't have me in the house while I film or while you film. It's a problem.
I had an iguana named Iggy. She somehow survived a house fire totally fine, but died from stress because her enclosure got slightly humid for an hour. Yep. Solo Uno, I got a squad of Repentia, Zephrem, Flagellant, and Halfling Sniper. I hope you got it from Victoria Miniatures. And a Preacher, a good, valid kill team, or am I making absolutely no sense? The Repentia, the Halfling Snipers are good for kill team. The Halfling Snipers could count as Space Marine Scout Snipers really easily. It's gonna be hard to get the Zephrem or the Flagellants to count as things. Actually, Flagellants are available to take in a Sisters of Battle kill team. You probably wouldn't want to, though, because they can't perform objective or mission actions, like picking up objectives. So they're kind of really bad.
Flatulence. That's what I always think. Or go flatulence. I'm clever, everybody. Everybody's dying of laughter at home. Gee Whiz's workshop. How do I trick my wife into getting into minis and wargaming? Any ideas? Don't let her. Let her have her own life. Oh.
Solo Uno. Never had a sea monkey. Got gifted something better called creepy crawlers. I had a creepy crawlers. It was like an easy bake oven, and you put I'm sure horribly toxic sludge into a like a lead mold, and then you put it in the easy bake oven toaster oven, and then you get a bug thing. It's pretty cool.
Now that you said that, I think maybe I had one of those. I had this thing where it was from Crayola, and it would you take crayons and you'd melt the crayons, and then you would have these molds of cars, and it would melt the crayons into these cars, and then you take the car parts and put them on top of like wheels, and then it was one of those pull back, and then they would drive forward, and it was kind of cool because if you set up like a, you put like a piece of paper down, and then you rammed the car into the piece of paper, it'd mark it up.
Nice. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know we didn't have the shrinky dinks with the machine. We had the shrinky dinks you put in the oven, and we burnt them every single time.
Yep.
Dana Bear. Nope, they're different. Budgerigars are smaller and travel in huge flocks. Parakeets are bigger, and you normally see 4 or so at a time. Ooh, interesting. I had parakeets, and they were small. So budgerigars must be real small. Crash TV, can Chosen be picked for kill team? Yes and no. With the new Chosen from
Legionaries?
The Legionaries, the new Chaos Legionaries kill team, you can probably use the Chosen bodies to count as some of those Legionary kill team picks. But you can't take Chosen. There's no add one Chosen to your kill team. Gee Whiz Workshop. Do you guys have the Dr. Dreadful candy making toy lab thing? I definitely didn't.
No.
I don't know what that is.
I never had anything that made food. My parents always thought that those were scams. Because they would just be like, let's just let's do real cooking.
Yeah.
Like if you want to make cookies, let's make real ones.
PG95, Jay, the place I work at is rumored to be haunted. Sweet! Take a picture of a ghost. Did a picture of a ghost. Share it on our Discord.
Yeah, please do. All I've ever wanted to do is see a ghost. Or a goblin.
Or Bigfoot.
I like goblins. Yeah, I could honestly take or leave Bigfoot because Bigfoot is not real. But, yeah. I just think it's too easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a person, but bigger. Okay. But a little goblin? And it's not a person, but smaller. It's a goblin. It's completely different. Rump. Nick, all you have to do is look in the mirror to see a goblin. Hey! But not wrong.
Unit 5, there's an abandoned part of the warehouse that I'll share pics and vids of later tonight.
Interesting. Abandoned part of the warehouse.
I worked in a warehouse, and we had parts we didn't go into. It's because we didn't care. I remember I got so mad because one day we were looking for an item, and we had our rack set up, and it made perfect sense, the SKU system for our racks. But it turns out that there were a couple where we just kind of ignored the naming convention. And so it's like, oh, rack 11E is on top. Is at the very top. And that's the room. And so we put it there. And I'm like, well, I didn't know that. And I feel like a real idiot because I just wasted everybody's time looking for this part because I didn't know where it was. And it turns out that it's just we made up a fake number for the top part of our racks. And I just found an event that I felt dumb. Because because nobody
Yeah,
told me
so-
that at my work.
And every time you drive by Steinhoffels, you get triggered by that.
Yeah, I give him the
memory.
finger.
Yeah. Yeah. I always wonder if you get offended because, like, let's say if we drive to Madison, Wisconsin for some reason, there's so many Steinhoffels on the
Yeah.
way. And I don't know if I do see you cover your eyes every single time.
It is pretty triggering.
Yeah. You have to do a warning. Danger
Shane
Bear,
Grant.
look in the mirror to see a goblin because Nick's Gloomspike gets will be reflected in the background. Yeah, that's what that person meant. Yeah.
Eh.
Yep. Candy Canoes. So now that you're sponsored by Victoria Minis, have you officially lost your Games Workshop NDA?
Yes, of course.
Yes. Yeah, Games Workshop has talked to us before,
Mhm.
for sure.
Shane Gron, Bigfoot are not really Sasquatches. On the other hand, totally real.
Goblins.
Mountainside tabletop, Bigfoots are much more real than ghosts. Ooh.
Disagree.
There's more ghost footage than Bigfoot footage.
Ghosts are harder to fake. I mean, you can't just pull things
That's
with
true.
strings.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't just go into After Effects and add a shadow somewhere.
Right. Remember that really stupid video that we watched where a cup was moving by its handle because it was being pulled by a fucking string?
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I didn't see a string. I just saw a cup moving across the counter that looked like it was being pulled from one direction by a string, and that was a ghost. Didn't you see the movie Ghost Stories? That was like a weird artsy-fartsy film that maybe was trying a little too hard.
I mean, pull it by not the handle at least.
Yeah, like put the tape. Maybe put the tape on the bottom, so that like it looks like it's being pulled from the bottom.
Yeah.
Also, like, why would ghosts travel through dimensions to move a cup or turn off a light? Like, wouldn't they like, squish one of your brain cells and just make you drop dead?
Or maybe they just want to spook you. They don't want to kill you.
Yeah.
They like maybe they feed off of your fear.
Hmm.
So that's what's going on.
Master Shake 9000. What about Bigfoot ghosts?
Oh
That's
no.
a really good point.
Ezra Shake 9000. They're cat ghosts just being a-holes from the afterlife. Yeah, just slowly knock things off the desk. The Shy Guy 489. I don't believe in anything paranormal. So you don't believe in anything real.
Yeah.
Interesting. Grumps, there was an official Sasquatch sighting. That's a fun way to. It's a fun thing for. I guess it's hard for me to say. 10 minutes away from me, like 4 years ago. Interesting.
Oh, I would love so much for Sasquatch to be real. I would love it so much.
Sasquatch.
Bobcat Goldthwait made a great Bigfoot movie, and he talked about on the Joe Rogan podcast the story of some guy who was convinced that Bigfoot was real. So he made a Bigfoot costume, and he would scare drivers on the road by jumping out at them in a Bigfoot costume. And one day, someone decided, oh, well, I'm going to be the guy who captures Bigfoot, and so he drove right over him. And then Bobcat was like, it was kind of sad, but at least he died doing what he loved. pretending to be Bigfoot and sprinting onto the highway.
Amazing.
Okay. John Johnson, the ghost will not kill you because if you become a ghost, it'll get awkward.
Oh.
It's not a bad hypothesis.
I didn't think about that.
Brett Parson, Mountainside. Love your videos. You need to see an EOB versus match in your future. Ooh, versus who? Versus each other? Versus somebody else?
Here with Maze, I have been spooked by multiple ghosts.
I've never had a ghosty thing happen to me, but I would love it. I would love it more than anything. We had a coworker who thought that her grandparents' place was haunted.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, please let me go and sleep in the cellar that's supposed to be haunted.
Yeah.
Shane Grant, Saskatchewan is one province over from mine. It's the homeland of the Sasquatch. They migrate from there and really like BC mountains. Jesse Lippin, Sasquatch is my daddy and he's gonna protect me. I'm sure.
Garrett's Maze, I had a ghost lay down right next to me on a bed. Not fun.
Ooh.
I guess it depends on how hot that ghost was.
That's true. I listen to a lot of creepypastas. God, I listened to one last night that was terrifying. I really like Creeps Mick Pasta. He's my favorite on YouTube. He has some really good stories, and he has a really good voice. I also like Mr. Creeps, although his voice is awful. But his stories are often really good, so I sometimes try to listen to it. Brett Parson, EOB versus Mist, M-I-S-T. Y'all both produce some high-quality videos, and you haven't kill-teamed in common. Neat. G95, I have yet to go into the creepy area alone. Ooh.
Damn.
Crash TV, Lowell, Saskatchewan. I worked in Estevan, Saskatchewan power plant. I went to the top floor, did a 360 spin, and got to see the whole province. Ooh, cool.
The Shy Guy 489, unpopular opinion, Ghostbusters was never good. I don't think I've ever heard that. I've never heard that in my entire life.
No, yeah. Ghostbusters 1 is pretty awesome. Ghostbusters 2 is pretty rough. I haven't seen the new Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters 2016 was alright. Like,
would you say rougher than 2 though? For sure.
I don't know.
Really?
2 gets so boring.
It does get boring, but I don't know.
The new one was also boring. The 2016 was also boring.
Yep.
Yeah,
we haven't seen the new one.
Yeah.
Really, we need to go see that one with Amanda.
That's true. I did not hear good things about the new one.
But yeah, Ghostbusters. Not liking Ghostbusters 1 is quite the thing.
Yeah.
Get off the stream.
Master Shake 9000, why isn't there a Ghostbusters miniatures game? There probably is. If you Google Ghostbusters miniatures game, there's at least probably a Ghostbusters board game that has miniatures in it. Jason M., I apparently saw a ghost while changing a septic tank. An old woman looked at me through a window and turned off the lights and closed the door. Turns out no one was there.
That was just the fumes.
Yeah, that was just the poo gas playing tricks on your mind. The Shy Guy 489. I thought the first movie had weird tone shifts, and I did not like any of the characters. The tone shifts were that the ghosts are magical, and the guys are schlubby exterminators. That's like part of the whole conceit of the whole show. But yeah, if you don't like any of the actors, it's gonna be a problem. Jason M. Owners of the house were the kids who inherited it. They said things were moved every day inside, and someone kept unplugging and moving the cameras. Ooh.
Can we go there?
Yeah, let's go. Something to do at 8. I liked the new one. Ah, well, there you go. That's the first positive I've heard.
Jason M. I don't smell the poo. I'm in an excavator. Okay. I'm gonna say it's poo gas.
Crash TV, which was worse, Ghostbusters 2016 or the live-action Dragon Ball movie? God, there was a live-action Dragon Ball movie? Oh yeah! Now I remember. That one is worse. The Dragon Ball movie is way worse. I mean, Ghostbusters 2016 is almost a movie.
James Stiles, I totally watched an EOB video where Jay stays at a haunted house.
I would love to. I want a ghost experience.
Seriously, if anyone knows a place where we can have a ghost experience, let us know. We'll go anywhere. How many hours away by driving?
5.
Okay. 5. That's not that many places, then.
That's not. But you know what? Maybe maybe something cool happens, and then we extend the parameters.
So I feel like we almost need to go more east, like where things are older.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, nothing here is old.
No.
Monitor, I can show you a ghost experience, but you have to eat some mushrooms first. I'm in.
And on that note, I've eaten some mushrooms. You know, I've been having a lot of fun with this stream, and I kind of feel like I could go for, I don't know, like 2 more hours.
Absolutely.
I wish that there was a way to do that. Maybe on our Patreon.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good idea. Okay, great. So we're going to be switching to our Patreon-only stream here in a couple minutes. We're going to take a little pee break first. So yeah, if you want to join Patreon, we do a little extra stream, a little extra long, and you can actually talk to us with your voice on Discord, which is wild during the stream. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, we had a bunch of videos out this week. We have a Patreon exclusive episode coming out tomorrow, critiquing people's minis, and we'll be back streaming again on Monday. So join us for that.
Alrighty, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
And boop boop.